Welcome back to another Lockdown Live with me, Anthony Miller, for Queer 40. And I can't believe who I'm about to introduce you to. It is none other than Bonnie Tyler. Bonnie, hello.
Hey, how are you all?
How are you, Bonnie?
Oh my God, I'm great. I'm in the Algarve in Portugal. It's been the longest holiday I've ever had, but by accident.
Tell us how that came about. What happened?
Well, my last gig in Sweden last March, I had a week off after, so Robert and I decided to fly to the Algarve, to our house here, and enjoy a week, which turned into a year. I've worked since I'm 17. This is the first time I haven't worked since I'm 17.
Amazing.
It's unbelievable.
I hope you're enjoying it, are you?
Oh, I got to be honest, I've really made the most of it, but I'm all revved up now and fully charged to get out there on the stage,
Good. That's what we want to hear. But in terms of the lockdown, actually, regardless of whether you're in the Algarve or whether you're in London or whether you're in New York or wherever you are, it gets a bit weird. We're not allowed to do things. We're not allowed to get, go and get along with our normal lives. How are you getting through it? Have you any tips for our readers about how to get through a lockdown?
Well, I am very lucky to have a wonderful husband, and we laugh a lot, and we just, get on, it's great. But and I am lucky, I've got the pool and everything, so I know how, lucky I am. I thank God for my blessings every night. Yeah. But, talk to each other and cook a lot, eat a lot, drink a lot.
I think many of us have taken the last piece of advice there, to plenty of drinking.
Okay. So, what I would initially start getting you to do
is
exercises.
Exercises?
Not exercise, no, breathing exercises.
Okay, so how do we do that?
As you go walk around Tesco's. And all it will be is starting off with your breathing.
Okay.
It's the fundamental. It really is the fundamental of singing. And I think if you got that breathing right, what you'd be able to do is push in the correct way to get the breath through the vocal folds.
Okay.
That would allow you to hold and support a note.
Right. Show me how to do that.
Cool. So what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in for 4 counts. I feel like I'm doing a Temple Rising Star lesson. I love it. Right. Welcome. So you're going to breathe in for 4 counts. You're going to hold for 4 counts, and you're going to breathe out for 4 counts.
Okay.
What I want you to do is breathe in through your mouth and out through your mouth, because as you sing, you always. I've never once seen Ariana Grande go.
True.
Always through the mouth. So breathe in through the mouth, and don't raise your shoulders at any point.
Okay.
What we do is when we breathe in, we go like this. We want to get it all into the belly, so expand the belly. And breathe in, and let's see how it goes. All right, you ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, and out. Stop.
I'm dizzy already.
Really? No, but that was good. I mean, your shoulders started to rise initially.
Yeah.
But you brought it all down. Really good.
Okay. Well, listen, you better watch your spot. I definitely coming after you, Tom. Listen, thank you so much. First of all, websites. Where can we find information about you, your school, and Diabetes UK?
And I read this article today where you were interviewed by a chap, and I have to keep reminding myself that it was 1973 and attitudes were different. But it was a male interviewer interviewing you, and he was talking about feminism, and he was asking you questions because I think at the time you weren't particularly motivated to join big groups of women. You didn't feel the need.
I'm a meism, I'm a meism. I've always said that.
Yeah. That was it. And he kind of, in his article, I find him really condescending, actually. But it was mansplaining and kind of almost like he was going to be the arbiter of whether you could be a champion of women and women's rights or that sort of thing. And unless you join this big group, sure, what are you anyway? But what I read from you in that interview was somebody who wasn't taking any shit.
That's absolutely true, and I don't take any shit.
Yeah.
I don't suck holes gladly, I don't. I don't take any shit from anybody. And if you don't want to know my answer, don't ask me the question.
Yeah.
Never learned the art of bullshit. I've never learned it. I will tell you exactly how I feel. And if I want to tell you something, I don't have to go a little bit left, a little bit right. I'll tell you straight.
Good.
And I'm very Detroit that way.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I really felt that coming through. And I thought to myself, actually, so when I go back and I think, well, okay, this is the 70s and things were on the change and all that sort of thing. But it would have been bloody hard for you. I mean, when I think about it from a commercial perspective and your management and your labels and all the rest, I imagine it would have been hard for you to be that direct and sort of get away with it, so to speak.
I don't know any other way to be.
Yeah.
I think this is what set me apart from everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been outspoken. I've always believed in me. You know, I mean, even when I first met Mickey, he came to the Mickey Most. He gave me my solo career. He came to the gig, and I did 2 songs only. I did Jailhouse Rock and Brain Confusion, one I wrote. And he calls me to the back of the hall, typical me, and he says, how would you like to make an album? And I said, who are you? I knew who he was, but that's who are you? Yeah. I'm Mickey Mouse. Oh, really? What do you do?
Whatever it is, I'm not buying, honey.
Yeah, I didn't want to be too impressed, you know. Yeah. No, I've never been backwards and coming forwards. It's just not my nature.
Good. How did you get that way? Was it you just were born that way? Did life make you that way, or?
Well, my theory is, when you come from a big family like it, 5 kids, you do search for your voice.
Yeah.
Because it's always you're one of the kids, and it can make you crave something of your own. So because I didn't fit in anywhere, I wasn't like that, and I used to try to find this niche. I had no niche.
Yeah.
So if you have no niche to fit in, you make your own. So I became this person. Oh, no wonder I'm not like anybody else, because I'm like this.
Yeah.
And it made sense to me.
Yeah.
I couldn't fit in any. I wasn't totally feminine. I was more tomboy. I thought differently. I acted differently. My husband always says to me, you are a one-off.
Yeah.
And when my dad visited one time, he'd visited many times, one time in particular, I remember we were sitting in the kitchen, he said, oh boy, Susie, when they made you, they threw away the mold. And before I could say thank you, he said, thank goodness.
Well, she puts her heart and soul into everything she does, and for that reason, I am China in her hands, and I can't get any more cliches into this conversation. Carol Decker, how are you?
Fine, I'm sure you could get a few more in if you tried really hard. Like we could do some sex talk, maybe.
Maybe some sex talk.
You could be my Valentine.
Yes. I love it. So, Celebrity Lockdown Lives, how's it been for you in the old lockdown?
The funny thing about the Trump thing is Donald Trump has everything to do with a lot of stuff, because he sort of said fake news. Mm-hmm. And what he did was he kind of put into the psyche of people that question the experts. Mm-hmm. So now there's nowhere to go, because you're questioning the doctor, you're questioning the expert. So, you know, you've got virologists who've been like, mate, I didn't need COVID-19 to study viruses. I've been all my life, and this has come up, and I'm telling you, this is the best way to get rid of this. And you're questioning him and going, how do you know that? No, it's all a scam and this and that. And it's like, it just doesn't really make any sense. So I would say to people, a lot of the videos you're watching, watch them, question where they're coming from, how authentic are they? Are they doctors, or are they people with just massive conspiracy theories? They just say, and that's all that it is. It's like the internet has brought all these conspiracy theories about and stuff like that. So it's kind of, and especially in the BAME communities, so the Black and Asian and ethnic minority communities, that's the people that are scared the most. And for some reason, because of we're all in the diaspora, and so we're vitamin D deficient.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's attacks to the vitamin D. So that's been a real problem. So we're the ones who aren't taking the vaccine, and it's affecting us the most. So I would just say the vaccine's there. It's been tested, and there are experts that are doing it. And this is just a wave. just a wave to say, oh, you know, it's just fashion to say, oh, don't take the vaccine, it's this, it's that, and but it's all a load of rubbish, really. That's really think. And if you don't believe me, watch. People are going to take the vaccine, the world's going to go back to normal, and all of a sudden, all the YouTube people that are saying all these things, and all the sisters, cousins, aunts, and all these WhatsApp messages, they're going to disappear, and you'll never hear it. Yeah. That's what's going to happen. My prediction.
I absolutely love that advice. Gorgeous and intelligent. Is there anything? And you can sing, and you can dance. I mean, is there anything you cannot do?
I think I go on too much.
I know, it's great.
I think I do. I do go on. I just thought to myself, crikey, Ben, you used to edit your answers. That's
no judgment.
And I'm sort of rambling on. So sorry. I think it's age.
Listen, once you get over 40, you're allowed to do that. But no, I truly agree with everything you say. And I think it's so sad, actually, that I kind of almost feel, and I might be wrong, I feel that the people who make these videos have an intention. And sadly, the intention isn't to save people or to help people. It's to grow their fame or to grow their followers. And they're actually putting lives at risk for their own ego. And it breaks my heart, and it petrifies me as well. Because
I honestly don't think that they know the gravitas of what they're doing.
I think I live that life thinking I have the Matrix chip in my head, and then I find myself in the middle of things thinking, how did I end up here? And who am I now responsible for, and how can I get out of this without hurting anybody?
I do that. I agree to a lot of things when I'm drunk as well, which is really. We used to live a couple of doors from a really good pub in London, and I just used to be in there every night. And Richard would come home from work, and I go, "This is," and we're going on holiday.
Yeah.
In August. I get myself into loads of trouble.
I love it, absolutely.
I've got loads of half-finished decorating because I just lost hope. So I started, right, I'm going to be industrious. Nothing we can do about this. There's lots of bits of the house are tatty. So I got a load of samples for the living room wall, and it's now still covered in a patchwork of different shades of white.
Beautiful. You know, this is gay man hell, by the way. You're giving me, like, you're going to bring me out in a rash now. You know, us gays like to decorate. That's the one thing that we
have to come and do it for me.
Yeah, we do have that chip. It's an automatic chip.
I was so fed up. By the time I put all the samples up on the wall, I just went, I really don't give a fuck. And they're still all there.
We're not decorating anymore, honey.
I've got a rum and ice.
Get it, as I said, Arden, get it into you. Now, I've got to ask you, is your Christmas song on your Christmas playlist?
I love my Christmas album. It's one of the best projects that I was involved in doing for my career, and it came about inspired greatly by that sort of piss up on a train and antlers and drunk and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if anyone listening knows what I'm talking about, but 3 million people went on YouTube and watched me genuinely drunk after a Christmas party singing Christmas songs with my brother Ricky Watts, who had a real hard time keeping standing up. In fact, fell over with his guitar at one point. And I think I only got saved by the fact that I was wearing antlers, which kind of gave it a festive vibe. Otherwise, it could have looked truly tragic. And so it actually, then it kind of kicked me into gear, and I thought, you know what, I love Christmas. And I started putting the album together, and it ended up being more original songs than covers, as it turned out, and it became a real labour of love. And every Christmas I stopped myself from playing it before December the 1st, but a month isn't long enough to play Christmas songs and Christmas albums, so I might let myself off and just give myself November this year.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I walk about looking like I'm okay, but inside I secretly want to put a Christmas tree up.
Oh, no, really. I mean, I've already found the one in my garden that's gonna cop it and end up in the living room.
Has the red wine been helping you find your groove, do you think?
You know what? I can't lie. You know, it's really the red wine has become
I think we're all the same.
Red wine is so deep; it listens to all of your problems. And it's back and it doesn't judge you.
Yeah.
Now, the clubs broke Holding Out for a Hero all
Yeah.
them years ago, you know?
Yeah.
And that was number 2 for 6 weeks running. But David Bowie and Mick Jagger kept me off the number 1 spot. But
The
they were
cheek of
doing
them.
it for charity, you know?
Oh, well, that's okay then. I was about to get
Yeah,
stuck
that's
into them
okay.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can see it. I can see myself on a Saturday night, a few gins in, doing a dance routine to that in some club somewhere.
Well, great. You wouldn't catch me dancing, darling. I just wrecked the stage. I go, I can't dance. I'm hopeless dancer.
Yeah.
Always have been. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So the voice, I mean, obviously the voice is like, you're iconic, and you're a gay icon at that, but this voice, this beautiful rasp, did you always have it, or did you learn it? Is it something you acquired, or?
It became worse after I had a throat operation when you're not supposed to talk, you know, and I couldn't stop talking after the operation. So when I went back to the specialist, he said, "You've been talking a lot, haven't you?" And I said, "Well, I tried to write everything down, but I couldn't do it, you know." and it was too much, you know. You know. And so in the end, it was going, "Ah!" They were already comparing me to Sir Rod Stewart, even with Still France.
Yeah.
But then when I went into the studio and I sang "It's a Heartache," you know, they're like, "What? Your voice has changed," you know. But then I had my first hit record in America, so it did me a favour, I suppose, you know, to have that extra edge on my voice.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously your career has spanned 5 decades now. What is the secret to longevity?
Good songs, absolutely great songs. Do you know, I'm back working with David Mackay as well, my first ever producer, who did Lost in France and It's a Heartache.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful being back with him. The production that he's done, and I mean, it's fantastic.
But you would have been around the gay scene, you know, in the 80s whenever AIDS struck, and that was, you know, everybody was affected by that. Were you personally affected by that within your social circles?
No, but I was working in New York at the time, and I remember it was, you know, you hear about all these horrific things that were happening, you know, and also, I mean, I used to do a lot of the gay clubs. I used to do the Saint. I used to love doing the Saint in New York, you know, and it was an incredible atmosphere there, and a bit naughty, right? But,
I don't believe you for a minute.
but no, the Saint was really, and but then when AIDS happened, then it was, I think everybody was being much more careful. But I mean, of course, it's not a gay disease, as everybody knows now. But then it was a bit of a stigma, wasn't it? But now people are, you know, it's treatable, and so, you know, you can have a normal life now again.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, I was only a young child, of course, but I remember the adverts, the headstones and stuff, and it was just absolutely petrifying. And as you say, with that then came the stigma as well. So so I'm so glad to see that's, you know, kind of moved on.
And Princess Diana got rid of a lot of that stigma, didn't she? You know, she was fantastic.
Yeah, she really did.